The most expensive mistakes in history top 10. Humans are also known as the statue of errors. Well, everyone makes errors, but some are more serious than others. Join us as we take you on a journey of colossal losses and some of the most costly blunders made by man. We are here referring to mistakes that run in millions of dollars worth of loss. Welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we will be discussing top 10 the most expensive mistakes in history. Don't forget to give us a like and share, and don't forget to share and subscribe to our channel. Making a mistake is not the end of the world, but that does not mean it won't break the bank. From losing an NSA orbiter in space to forgetting a Starbucks cup in an episode of a previously well-acclaimed TV series, there are some mishaps that came with a hefty price tag. For those of you wondering what they are, here are the 10 most expensive mistakes ever made. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get started! Number 10. Russia sells Alaska to the USA. Russia sold Alaska to the United States of America for $7.2 million in 1867. Faced with serious financial difficulties and the threat of losing colonies without recompense, Tsar Alexander II opted to sell his North American domains, which did not net much at the time. No one could have predicted the kind of profits the U.S. would reap from this acquisition in the future. Natural resources such as gold and oil are found in abundance in Alaska. Economists estimate that the oil and gas reserves in this region would easily be valued at $200 billion. Coming to think of it, this worked out really well for the US, but proved to be a costly mistake for the Russians. Number 9. The Titanic's destruction. Well, everyone knows that the Titanic sinking was one of the most tragic maritime disasters in all of history. Between 1909 and 1912, architects Thomas Andrews and Alexander Montgomery Carlyle constructed the White Star liner, which was dubbed as the unsinkable ship. Titanic was the world's largest ocean liner at the time, and it was built specifically for the long journey from England to America. However, she did not make it far. She was wrecked in the Atlantic Ocean North 4 days after leaving the port for her maiden voyage. The disaster that followed was the result of a series of mistakes. On April 15, 1912, just around midnight at 11:40 p.m., the ship scrapped a massive iceberg along its starboard side. It was not something that wasn't foreseen. Despite being informed of the potential danger, the crew was eager to put the ship to the test. She was unsinkable after all. The evacuation procedures were not put into place until it was very late, and the ship had already started weighing down from the gush of water. They did not call in rescue operations in time. That's just not it. Titanic was not equipped with enough lifeboats for everyone. Around 1,517 people died as a result of the drama. The financial loss is projected to be $7.5 million, or nearly $175 million in today's day of the exchange rate. This is one voyage that won't be forgotten for long. Number 8. Large trains. The Société Nationale des Chemins de Fer Français, France's national railway business, and the Réseau Ferré de France drew the fury of the political world over a few millimeters. In 2014, the SNCF bought 341 train sets that ended up being too large to pass through certain French stations. The cabins were made a few millimeters larger in order to accommodate more people and offer them more room. As a result, the corporation was compelled to come up with a solution and make a hasty decision to build 1,300 docks at a cost of 50 million euros. Number 7. Typographical error. Mizuho Securities, a Japanese firm, lost $225 million due to a typographical error. The brand issued an order on December 8, 2005, stating the purchase of 610,000 shares for 1 yen each. In actuality, they planned to sell a single JCOM stake on the Tokyo Stock Exchange for 610,000 yen. They simply reversed the exchange and suffered millions. Number 6. The Ariane 5 explosion. The Ariane 5 rocket, a European Space Agency orbiting satellite geostationary launcher, was built in 1995 to replace the Ariane 4. Its maiden flight and first entry into satellite orbit resulted in failure after months of planning and multiple tests. Just 36.7 seconds after liftoff, the rocket broke and burst in mid-flight. A programming error that could have been avoided resulted in a loss of more than $500 million. Number 5. Invasion of Falkland Islands. Imagine you're a losing dictatorship trying to reclaim popular support by instilling a strong sense of patriotism in your people. Now, imagine a little island a few kilometers off your coast that you once owned before it came under British administration. Well, the island has more sheep than people, so why would anyone guard it at all? Argentina thought exactly that and deployed forces to invade it. The only mistake was assuming that the UK will never intervene from the other side of the globe to reclaim what was now the Queen's property. Argentina ended up poking themselves in the eye. They lost the Falklands War, and with the lives of 700 young soldier lives and $850 million. Number 4. The United States' worst nuclear disaster. The deadliest nuclear disaster in the U.S. occurred in 1978 at the 3 Mile Island Power Station in Pennsylvania. The core of the American power plant's reactor number 2 melted and spewed radioactive gases into the atmosphere on March 28. This was a colossal result of a series of mechanical failures, human errors, and defective design. This disaster, according to the International Atomic Energy Agency, was a watershed moment for the global nuclear industry. Since then, the U.S. has stopped building new power plants. The cost of America's worst nuclear disaster, TMI-2's damaged nuclear reactor system, took nearly 12 years to be cleaned up and cost $973 million. Number 3. California's most destructive forest fires. In 2003, a 34-year-old California hunter became lost in the San Diego County forest and requested assistance by lighting a campfire. He immediately lost control of the fire and ended up igniting one of California's most deadly disasters. The Cedar Fire cost $1.2 billion, scorched approximately 110,500 hectares, demolished 2,820 houses, and killed 15 people, one of whom was a fireman. In federal court, the individual was found guilty and sentenced to 960 hours of community service and a $9,000 reparation fine. Number 2. Oil tanker gone wrong. The oil ship Exxon Valdez sank off the coast of Alaska in the year 1989, causing the worst oil spill ever in terms of environmental impact. It then carried a total of 180,000 tons of crude oil. 11 of the 13 tanks on board were damaged in the accident, and 40,000 tons of crude oil were spilled on the coast. This resulted in the pollution of 800 kilometers of the seashore by 7,000 kilometers of underground oil and the death of 300,000 birds. ExxonMobil spent more than $3.4 billion cleaning the coast and seabed, compensating more than 30,000 fishermen and putting an end to the legal processes. The tanker captain was found to be under the influence of alcohol at the time of the accident, according to the investigation. Number 1. Piper Alpha explosion. The Piper oil rig Alpha explosion and fire is the deadliest tragedy in the history of oil exploitation. This accident occurred on the night of July 6, 1988, as a result of a small technical issue and a communication blunder. The explosion claimed the lives of 167 people and resulted in $3.4 billion in repairs. Nobody enjoys making errors, especially when money is involved. Even minor blunders can be aggravating, but imagine how you'd feel if you'd made one of the history's most costly blunders. These individuals made errors that cost hundreds, millions, and even billions of dollars, and in some cases, people's lives too. Expensive errors come in all forms and sizes, from triggering terrible calamities to disastrous corporate mergers. We're approaching the most costly blunder in human history, so perhaps anything you've done recently won't look so horrible in comparison. Have you made any mistakes that cost you dearly? Let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video, do give us a like, share, and do subscribe to our channel. We'll see you again in our next video. Thanks for watching.